Yet again, another unboxing time. And man, I know I always say I'm excited for an unboxing of a figure, but for this one, I'm pretty damn excited. Uh, to give you context, I don't know if I should tell you guys how old I am. Maybe I shouldn't say how old I am, but I will say that I was a kid when Knights of the Old Republic came out, and huge Revan fan. I've probably played that game more times through, like in completeness, start to finish, than any other game that I've ever played. So I can't even count the number of times that I've completed that game. And honestly, sitting here talking about unboxing this figure makes me want to. Oh, Daddy Skids makes me want to go back and play that game again. So I don't know. We might play through it again. The funny thing is a lot of people like Knights of the Old Republic 2 better, and I have actually only ever made it all the way through Knights of the Old Republic 2. I think once, maybe twice. But it doesn't capture me like this story does, and Revan and the different things. It is interesting to me that they have decanonized Revan now, apparently. So he is decanon. He's not canon to the story right now because he's considered legends at this point. Which I don't know. I mean, I guess they want to do that so that they can come back and make a story at some point of Darth Revan or maybe the Old Republic. But I have, and when I say they, I mean Disney. But I have no faith that Disney will be able to do that with their current track record. So um, one thing that if we do start streaming here more frequently, I am probably going to start doing breakdowns of Star Wars content. And I'm going to be real about it. You know, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. You can see all the Star Wars figures in the back. If you can see the rest of my room, it's covered in Star Wars stuff. There's a 7-foot Darth Vader animatronic on that side. There's a statue of Darth Vader right here. Plenty of stuff all around the room, lightsabers. So I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I can't say that I'm happy with the direction that the franchise is going right now. I think a lot of people are kind of in that boat. I have faith that they can turn it around, but I don't have a lot of faith as long as Kathleen Kennedy's there. I think she's a big part of the problem. I think she tries to put politics into entertainment, and I don't think that's something that you should do. So, anyway, we won't talk about that too long because that's not what this video is. You know, this stream's about. So we're gonna unbox this Darth Revan figure, and we're gonna love it in all of its glory. It honestly has the potential to be my favorite figure, at least my favorite Star Wars figure. Oddly enough, I think my favorite figure, my favorite Hot Toys figure right now that I own personally, I think it's the Deadpool from Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'm excited to get Wolverine when he comes in. I don't, he hasn't any update on him or anything yet, so really excited to get Wolverine into the cabinet as well. Um, I also bought another D12, so I don't know if I can shift these a little bit and fit one more. If I could fit one more D12 on that shelf, that would be pretty cool. I think I could probably do it if I pushed them all together and pushed them to the end. I just worry about the weight on this thing, but I guess it's pretty solid. I mean, I'm not too worried about it, I don't guess. So, um, I don't know, but we'll see. So that I'm probably going to do that, and then I'm going to have another cabinet on that side, which you guys won't be able to see it, but I'm probably going to put another cabinet on that side of my office and start to put things in it. We're about to expand our attic space too, so a lot of the old Black Series stuff that I still kind of have hanging around in the office, a lot of that stuff's going to get put up, and we just won't be we won't be you know, looking at it or whatever. You know, I've tried to sell it, but I don't really like to piecemeal it. I have a lot of really good Black Series figures, and they've been kept in good condition because I have them in protective cases and things like that. So I have a few. I have like the entire white line that they did that one time. I have a few of the like 40th anniversary carded edition lines. So cool stuff, but it just doesn't look as good displayed out in an office as what Hot Toys figures do. Um, so It just is what it is, and they completely lose their value if you take them out of the box. Whereas Hot Toys, you can at least take them out and display them, and they still keep their resale value. But exciting news. We did have something exciting happen as far as an opportunity to get a figure that we will definitely unbox on the channel. So, exciting opportunity is that I got a notice the other day from Sideshow, and I don't usually get a lot of waitlist opportunity conversions, and especially not for like the artisan edition figures or the ones that are really limited that are like lotteries. But I got an email the other day, and it was actually a redemption to get the artisan Revenge of the Sith Anakin, not the red eyes one. So it's not his red eyed look, but it is his basically from the beginning of the film where he chops off Dooku's head. It is that look, and so really excited. It's going to be artisan, so it's going to have the real hair. Hopefully, everything is really, as far as the stitching and everything on his costume should be like very impressive. So I'm excited to see that and get that figure in hand. That's one that I'm really excited for, and I was able to get a really good deal on it because Kells Bells had got me a Valentine's Day gift card, and then I had like almost $100 in points or rewards on Sideshow. So I got that figure. It is an expensive figure, but I think I got it for like 50 something dollars at the end of the day. So pretty excited to get that. It does resell pretty well as well, but I don't think I'll be reselling it. But it is good to know that it's a limited run. I don't remember exactly how many, but we'll know when we unbox it. But excited. It'll be my first artisan figure, so really excited for that. Anyway, welcome back to the channel. We got another Hot Toys unboxing today. This one's special from my childhood, especially I'm sure from a lot of yours as well. It's the Darth Revan Hot Toys Special Edition. Really excited to unbox this one today. I hope you guys are as well. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Really helps us out on this side. We also live stream these over on Twitch, so come check us out over there. But let's jump straight into it. Cut this top tape. Okay. Everybody ready? Can you see me? Try not to. Okay, here we go. Check it out. There it is in the plastic. I also kind of moved the light that we have going on so it's not so like bright right into the figure. So not as much glare here this time. So really happy about that, the way that I kind of set that up. We're making changes, guys. It's going to be better. But that's pretty cool. I can see it over here to my right. I like the illuminated look here that we have. Almost, I think this comes with some LED sabers. So really cool. This is almost a little bit jarring because this is, we'll look at it when we get out, but that's almost like a hot pink instead of I think that's meant to be purple, like his lightsaber. But well, it's actually purple up there on his lightsaber. I don't know. The hot pink is kind of throwing me off, but really cool. I do like the look so far. Let's get it out and get a proper look at the box here. Check that out. It does look good. I like it. I like the box. We opened the last one that we unboxed was the Vader, and it comes with the classic Kenner packaging, which I like. But I almost like this style, just the regular Hot Toys, matte black box. I almost like it a little bit more. But to each their own. That could just been because the Vader one wasn't too impressive. Honestly, the box wasn't. This looks really good though. You have the foil metallic Star Wars there on the front. You've got some box art here on the front. The pink is throwing me off a little bit because it is definitely pink, like a purplish pink. but that's okay. We do have a image of Darth Revan 2 here on the front, sideshow exclusive. Let's see, VGM 62, Darth Revan Legends. Okay, I don't know why they really have to throw. I mean, I guess he is Legends character. Have they done any other Legends characters and they've actually like thrown that on the box? It seems kind of like that might be something Disney made them do. But either way, he looks really good. I hope his detail looks as good as it does right here on this image because that looks great. We have another piece of box art here on the side that looks really good as well with his lightsaber extended. So he's actually got both of them there. So that looks really good as well. Um, So just kind of giving you a look. And then is there one on this side as well? Nope, just the Hot Toys on that side and some Disney stuff. We do have Video Game Masterpiece, so that's the VGM 62. So this must be their 62nd Video Game Masterpiece. I wonder if that's just for Star Wars or if that can't be across everything. That has to be just Star Wars, right? So I guess they've made 62 of these, so that's interesting. Video Game Masterpiece, Hot Toys. We got a little official Disney sticker here. Echo Base, official retail store. Um, Nothing too crazy. No story on the box with this one. So just kind of some corporate stuff there on the back. We do have a little Video Game Masterpiece here on the front as well. All right. So right off the bat, really like the box. Like the presentation so far, but let's go ahead and slip it open and see what we got. Okay, let's go ahead and slip this top cover off. See what we got underneath here. Wow, another really cool piece of art. Here's a closer look at that. Looks really good. Let's flip the camera around. So another cool piece of art here, right when we slip the top cover off. Revan standing there with both of his sabers. Which this is probably similar to how I will kind of display him. I might even I hope that that his cape has a little bit of a magnet, or not a magnet. I'm sorry, a wire in it. That way, I can do something like this pose, but have the cape kind of blowing in the back. I think that would look really cool. And let's slip this piece of art out of the front. So he looks really good. There we go. Get a little view here. And let's flip the camera back around. So there we have him with all of his protective plastic still in place. This is the first one that I have opened that has the coin, so I forgot that we are going to get the coin with this figure. So interesting little piece of extra added accessory for you. I don't know that you will actually use it. We'll see. We'll see when we get it out of there what it actually feels like, what the weight of it is. But pretty cool. Something different that they don't usually do, or I guess they're going to start doing it more heavily because I think a couple of them that I've bought recently have that. Hard to kind of see them in there, huh? So let's go ahead and get this out of here. So let's start to dive into the first couple layers here, or the first layer. Try not to pop this open and have pieces go everywhere. Right off the bat, wow, his sabers look great. Let's pan back out now that you guys have kind of seen the inside of the box here. Again, we'll get close-ups of everything as we kind of go through, but I kind of want to give you my reaction of that as I'm seeing things in the box now that the top case is off. But the sabers right off the bat look great. Nice, really like shiny look to them. I can tell you get the regular and the LED for both because I see a wire in two versions for each. But they look really good and they're really large. That's something I don't really remember from the game, them being that big, but I mean, they probably are to scale. But those look really good right off the bat. So let's just start to kind of take them out and look at them here. So you can see there, this is the purple one. So this is what traditionally what people will use for the purple color. It has the little prongs at the top. We have the LED version, which really no difference. And we have the red. And again, we'll show all these things in the up close camera when we get to that. And then we have the LED version of the red. They look really good right off of the bat, just looking at them. There's not a lot of weathering to them, so they are a rather clean looking saber, which we'll see how that looks with the rest of his getup. But they are rather clean. I don't see much weathering or anything to them. Not on this one really either. But the painting is good. They look good, and so we'll see what they look like illuminated. Sideshow, Hot Toys in general, they have okay lightsabers. Some of the people that do it aftermarket, though, seem to have way better ones. I don't personally have any of those, but I have looked into it, and they look really good. So if you're disappointed with the lightsabers, then you might want to take a look at some of the aftermarket ones. Just some ball joints in case you need those. This is a clip for the battery pack. We'll talk about that later. Not really a big deal. We do have the battery pack. Just getting some of the more insignificant things here out of the way. Oh, it looks like they do give you a belt clip and a stand clip for the battery pack. So nice little bit of addition there. Now let's get to some of the actual accessories we'll pull out here now and we'll kind of show. So okay, here's the coin. It is heavy, so I like that it is a nice heavy coin. We'll look at it up close here before too long, and we'll actually take it out of the plastic. But you got Darth Revan here on the front, which it just says Darth Revan, Sith Empire, and then the back says Hot Toys Limited, and just Star Wars Lucasfilm trademark. So the gold coin. I want to say there were two versions of this. Maybe there was a gold and there was a red coin. I'm not sure which version came with what. But I think there was a red coin of this as well. I don't know. I kind of like the gold, but the red might have been cool too. So pretty cool. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. Let's take out the sabers here. So as far as the actual blades, we have the motion blade, your typical motion blade. I saw somebody talk about the motion blades on one of their channels. I actually want to bring that up because I think it was a really good improvement that they could make to those motion blades because nobody really uses them. I did try to use it with my mace back behind me, but I hate the way it looks actually. I think if they did this could help. Let's move that out of the way so that it's not in the frame. And then you have the red, which it looks pretty red. I mean, it's hard to tell until you kind of get it. You can kind of see it there when it's got the white underneath it. You can see it a little bit better. Sometimes their red almost looks a little bit pink, and that can be disappointing sometimes. It's really hard to get these sabers out of here. Come on now. Okay. And then you have just the straight illuminated saber. which that one is really light. That one, see, like they need to make them more full colored, because if you don't have this illuminated, this doesn't look red at all. I don't know if you guys can see that at all in the camera. We'll look at it in the close-up camera, but it doesn't look that great there because it just looks kind of like faded out if you don't have the light effect on it. Okay, then we have some hands. So the hands here look really good. They have this textured cloth look to them, which we'll talk about the rest of his outfit here in a minute. They have a lot of weathering and damage here on the metal armor pieces on it, on the pauldron pieces. So they look good. They're nice and kind of a bendy plastic like you would expect, so that you can mold them for the saber, for when you have the saber hands. But you have a few different ones there. We got the open palm. We have, of course, a saber grip. We have another open palm and another saber grip. And then looks like on him, he's just kind of got open hands. So we've got kind of like a force open hand where something is definitely being an action related hand. And then the one that he has on his body, which we'll look at in a second, are just kind of neutral hands down to the side. So let's go ahead. He is the next piece that is actually going to come out, is the main event here. So let's go ahead and pull him out. Let's get one more look at the top down real quick. So there he is again in the box. Nicely packaged. Some of that plastic out of the way so you can kind of see him. Let's zoom back out. All right, let's pull him out. He's nice and heavy. Some plastic there from his back. And then he looks really good, chat. Wow, he looks great, actually. Okay, let's go ahead and pull him. Pull some more plastic off there. Wow, it looks good. It looks really good. Okay. I'm not sure what's going on with it. Okay, I kind of see. Wow. It's a good look. It is a good look. We're going to have to do a little bit of work to get maybe some of the cloth sitting just right. But straight out of the box, I think he looks great. So let's set him up there so you can see him. Let's go ahead and pull the last piece out here. At least I think this is going to be the last piece, is the base. And this looks really good. You don't often hear me say that about Star Wars bases, but this one's different right off the bat. Never seen one kind of like this, so this is cool. We do get a crotch grabber, which is good. I don't want anything wrapping around. I don't typically like the waist grabbing stands. The only way they really work for me is if you're doing like a flight pose. Otherwise, I would just rather prefer the crotch grabbing stand. But this looks really good. So let's go ahead. We'll take a look at this. So this looks really good. I actually love the way that this stand looks. Let's get this piece of plastic off of here, so we can see it a little bit better. But we're not plagued with this regular Star Wars sand base. We have something a little different here. So it's still in the same vein of Star Wars, where it's that industrial type look, but it's got this nice bronzed painted texture face to it, which looks really good as opposed to the typical black and silver, which you would see for the Empire. So this looks really good. Trying to think back to the game, I guess everything in the Old Republic was a little more dirty and grimy. It wasn't quite as clean as the Empire that we think of today. But it still is rather clean. But that looks good. I like the way that that base looks. On the front here, we have Star Wars Darth Revan. And then they put the legends on here again. I don't know what their infatuation is with keeping legends on there, but I would have preferred that to just say Star Wars Darth Revan. Huh. So this can actually, I believe, yeah, I think this can be popped in to any area on here. So if you didn't want it directly in the middle, you can pop this into kind of any of the little areas here and have it kind of stand where you want them to. Though it is a little bit difficult to get in there. So I want to look at the instructions and make sure I'm doing that right. But is it? Hmm. Yeah, we'll look at the instructions, make sure we're doing it right. But that seems like that is going to be really hard to. Oh, okay, I kind of see. Never mind. It was pretty easy. So yeah, you can pop that in. You can pop it in any of the different slots here. So that's pretty cool. I like this base. I like the base. You don't often hear me say that about a Star Wars base, but I like that base. Let's get the instructions off here. Let's go ahead and just get them open. We'll get all the plastic out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to actually just look at the instructions real quick just to see what kind of things we're going to talk about here. I think I kind of know. There's not much with this figure, so no artwork on the instructions like some of them have. Yep, so we talk about the battery pack and how it can be either attached to the belt with this belt clip, so you can attach it with just the belt clip there, or you can use this clip to attach it to the base, which is what I would probably do because I don't want to clip anything on them and risk damaging the figure. So I would probably use the clip that would clip onto the crotch grabber because I'm probably just going to display him on this, but in an action type pose. So that's probably what we'll do. Let's see. So they talk about that. They talk about the outfit is not attachable. Don't try to take it off, otherwise it may get damaged. So they don't advise you to try to take off any of the garments or anything here. Interchangeable hands. It's pretty standard. The hands are interchangeable as shown. Use the right hand to hold the indicated lightsaber hilt. The hands are interchangeable. Talk about that. It's funny that they repeat themselves there. Powering the LED lightsaber, so you have two plugs available on the battery pack there. So again, battery pack has two plugs here on the top, so you can plug both sabers in and just light them with one battery pack. That's pretty cool that they've done that. Even with the Darth Vader that we opened the other night, it was cool that he had all the different light up effects, but it was just one battery pack. So very simple and clean. Assembling the LED lightsaber, pretty simple here. Red lightsaber, purple lightsaber. Indicated parts are equipped with bendable wire for styling. Oh, so we do talk about. Oh, yes, yes. This is good, chat. So we do have, and this looks great actually, as far as the material here. But we do have some wiring in the cape, so that is actually really good news for this cape because that's going to give us a lot more flexibility to do things with this. So nice. Yes, I do feel the wire in there. Yes, that's going to make it um, very versatile for posing. So I like the idea of that. Nice. It doesn't seem to have a ton of wire. It just has one down each side, I think. We'll see. We'll get into it. And that's kind of it. So let's go through everything here and we'll do the close-up shots of stuff. Okay, so there he is outside of the box, all set up. Obviously, we don't have him posed or anything yet, but this is just straight out of the box. Even got a little bit of plastic still on him, but right off the bat, he looks really good. I like the likeness and the cloth and the materials and everything that I'm seeing so far. We'll get more in depth into that as we start to look at him a little closer. But right off the bat, he looks great. So doesn't he? I mean, just look at him. You really can't deny that that is Darth Revan. He looks really good. And never really thought that I would have this figure in my collection. So really happy that they made this, especially since they've had so much trouble. Um, they've tried to remake the game, and that's been delayed, and some have said canceled. They have flirted with the idea of making the Old Republic into a movie or a TV show a couple times, I think, and they've gone away with that. I've heard Keanu Reeves. A lot of people want him to play Darth Revan, which I think would be really good. So I do think that you have to go with somebody that plays Darth Revan if you're going to do a live action. He does have to kind of look like the um, Jedi Jesus that you get in the one portrait that everybody uses in Knights of the Old Republic for the male character. I do think you kind of have to make him look like that. But right off the bat, look at him. He looks great. So we'll get into some close-ups now of looking at the figure and see what he looks like close up into the light and the camera, so you guys can get a really good look at some of the detail on his actual armor and his clothing here. So we'll jump straight into that. So let's get you guys some detailed looks here. So there's the look at that mask, which really looks great right off the bat. I have to say they did a really good job with the mask and everything. I think that that looks really good. The hood does need some work. We'll talk about the hood here in a minute, and maybe I just need to do some work on it. But I think that there's probably something to be said there. We'll start to look at some of his chest armor here. You can see the detail there. That looks really good, chat. I mean, the detail that they've done here on the armor, and we'll talk about the materials and stuff here when we back it back out, but it looks really good. It doesn't look like any of this is pleather. It looks like most of it is molded, either plastic or maybe like a hard plastic type of feel, but that looks really good, chat. I mean, even look there at his pauldrons. Those look really good. The material of his tunic and everything just feels really good. It's a nice lightweight fabric. And it's just a nice textured fabric that looks really good. Let's get you some looks down here at the actual robe pieces. As you can see, again, a nice textured look that we have going throughout all of the clothing. Belt. One thing about the belt that I really like is that I felt it a minute ago and I touched it. These are metal. So these rings are real metal that you're seeing there on his side, around the side. And you know, that's just little pieces of detail like that are huge, because like we talked about on the Vader with his neck chain, the fact that they made that kind of like a molded plastic, I wasn't a big fan of that. And so glad to see here that where they could, they added in some flair. Take a look at the boots here. Pretty standard, but it is a split boot, you know, and then they have the armor over the top of it there. But a lot of good motion there, actually. It's not pleather. Yeah, he looks great, chat. I mean, just really, really great. If you want a Revan in your collection, scratch that. You need a Revan in your collection. Everybody does. If you're a true Star Wars. That looks great, chat. Try to get one close up of the mask here if we can. So here's the coin. Cool. There. So pretty cool. Cool little coin. Not too many other things that we have to kind of show off here, but one thing I do want to look at is the saber. So we do have the LED saber here. This is the purple saber. So maybe we should go ahead and just put the purple blade on it. Nice long blade there, so that's good. But here we go. You got the wire for the LED, of course, and then we have the other saber. I'm going to show it with well, I guess I'll go ahead and put the saber on it here. So like I said, not a lot of weathering on the sabers here, but they do look good, and they look screen accurate or game accurate. So happy for that. The only other piece here that we have to talk about are the additional hands that they give you. But I do think that these hands do look good. I mean, I think as far as the weathering and stuff here on the armor, I think that that looks really great. Matches his weathering on his armor for his chest piece and things like that. You know, so and then the even though they're a molded plastic hand, sorry, I'm not getting a greatest view for you guys here. Even though they're a molded plastic hand, they have this textured look to them that makes them look like the cloth. Really hard to kind of show these. We've had a hard time showing the hands in the past. You can kind of see that. It's that textured look. That really just makes them blend well. So yeah, those look really good. Not too much. I mean, you have the outstretched force hand for both. And then we have a closed fist saber holding hand. So yeah, that's close-ups of everything. So let's go ahead and let's get him a little bit posed up. We're not going to work on the pose too much, and then we'll talk about the figure and what we think about it. I think I am just going to go ahead and put both lightsaber holding hands on because I think that's the way he's going to look the best, is holding both lightsabers. I guess we will go ahead and do the LED lightsabers so that we can show those off. So we'll go ahead and run those LED lightsabers. So let's do that now. Let's see if we can get this hood. Let's actually, I'm going to drop the hood back. Wow, really cool looking helmet. So I don't think I've ever actually seen this helmet with the hood back. So let's just take a look. I actually kind of want to look at it up close. So here's the helmet without the hood over the top of it. And that helmet is so cool, chat. I love that helmet. Favorite Star Wars design for a helmet by far. It's really not even close with anything else. They've got some nice weathering on there too, some gashing. Just the weathering in general on this figure, I mean, looks amazing. Okay, enough of that. The hood is difficult. There's some things that they could have done with the hood. We'll talk about it. It maybe I'm just need to work with it a little bit here to try to get it where it looks. It just kind of like pokes up too much, and then they got this big seam, which that looks better. I kind of worked with it a little bit there. They've got this big seam running down the middle of it, which is kind of like making it stand up weird. Um, so that is not great, but so the straps and things, as we kind of thought, they are all hard plastic, which is okay with me. They're not pleather or anything like that, so you're not going to have to worry about them degrading over time. So that's not going to be an issue. So you do have these straps here, and so everything here is just very kind of hard molded plastic. Looks amazing. All of the sorry if I got the mic there. So everything here is just kind of hard molded plastic, but it looks amazing. The weathering on it looks awesome. If you saw the up close, I do love that they added these little metal pieces here. That they are actually a steel metal piece. It just adds a little something to the figure that you know they're just kind of paying attention and adding that little bit extra flair. I wish they would have done that in some cases with the Vader that we unboxed recently. But this looks really good. All of the texturing on him looks great. The gouging in the armor, the painting of the armor, the cloth, as far as just how the actual cloth sits, and it is a very lightweight, breathable cloth, something that you're not going to have to worry about kind of breaking down or anything over time. They did do the tattering here in the back, so you're going to see some tattering here in the back, which that's exactly how it looks in the game. They did a good job, though. They didn't just like, it's not just like cut with scissors. It actually has like this jagged kind of like look, and there's some fraying to it. So they really did a good job with the cape. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with the cape. I think they did a good job all around as far as it having wiring in it, the look of it, the texture of the cape. I think they did a really, really good job here, chat. I mean, just spinning him around there, he looks awesome. So let's put the sabers in his hand. There he is, Chad. I think he looks great, actually. Let's go ahead and plug him up. So let me use this USB. Didn't know that this thing was battery powered. I thought that that would go off when I unplugged this. Good to know. So difficult maybe to see on camera, but he does have the light up effect. I will say, let me turn him around here and look at him in person. The light up effect is weak. So I will say that these sabers that come from Hot Toys, if you truly want to display him illuminated, you're just going to have to go with an aftermarket saber, because they illuminate so much brighter. And for this figure, it's just going to look so much better. So, I mean, you can barely tell in the camera that those are purple and red. I mean, you can barely tell that they're illuminated. So I think that's a little bit of a disappointment that, it's so weak as far as, the true color and everything of it there. So that's disappointing. One little bit of a disappointing thing with the figure, but let's turn the lights back on. All right, so let's go through the figure. Let's go through all the pros and cons that we have, and give it, what we think is a final verdict for the figure. So let's back him up here a little bit. I'm going to kind of back him up towards me, and we'll talk about him. So let's just talk about as far as look and the quality of the figure, the quality of the materials. I think he looks amazing. I think they nailed this. If you want a Revan, actually scratch that. You need a Revan. You need this Revan in your collection, in my opinion, if you're a Star Wars fan. And if you are a Knights of the Old Republic fan, I mean, this is a no-brainer. But he looks amazing. All of the materials that they used on the figure are really top-notch. I mean, the cloth, the texture of the cloth here on the cape, this kind of I don't know what you would call this. It's not waffle, but it's a very textured type of cloth that he has for his cape, all the way down to even just the detail on his mask, the pitting, the scarring, the paint detail, as far as the metallic red, really pops against that silver. They really got the right color balance for everything across his armor. So he looks great. Adding in the little pieces of metal here on the loops, just a touch that it doesn't take a whole lot, but it adds a ton to the figure and it gives it a little bit more shelf presence. All of his tunic and everything really well done. I am going to have to work with him a little bit just to get everything kind of fitted and onto him the way you want, but that's with any figure. So I think that there's a little bit of work there to be done, but he looks amazing. The weathering and everything. I'm going to kind of uncross his arms here so that we can talk about some of the armor here. So the weathering and everything that they've done and the painting effects on the armor here, top notch. I mean, really, just they went above and beyond. It looks really, really good, and it's not a pleather or anything like that. So it's not something that you're gonna have to worry about him being in a pose and it degrading over time. Same thing with his tunic and things like that. He's not gonna have to be worried that, oh, I have him posed and the pleather in his outfit's gonna, crease or whatever. I don't think you're really gonna have to worry about that. So that's really good. He looks great. So as far as presence on the shelf, the way he looks, all of that, top notch. Really, really well done. Let's look at some of the other aspects now. Some things that are kind of detractors as far as things, aspects of it. I think they could have done better with the hood. I think that that's something that they could have wired this a little better. Or I think it's mainly the stitching that they have running across the top center here that just throws it all off. So if they would have stitched it a little different, taken a little bit extra time to stitch it differently, I think that it would look better. Now, I think you're going to be able to work with it because there is some wiring here in the front edge. So I think you are going to be able to kind of work with it and get it to work over time. But it would have just been nicer if a little bit more care and effort would have went into that piece. Other than that, I am pretty happy overall with the figure. We do have some nice, boots down here that allow us to give a lot of different bend and everything. We'll look at the articulation here in a second. But as far as the look of everything, even his boots have a lot of pitting and scarring in them. So his whole outfit just kind of really fits together and looks great. One little thing as far as look, again, the sabers, the light up effect on the sabers, and even just the sabers when they're not lit up, they don't have a pronounced look. I think even myself displaying this figure, I want to display them with the lit up lightsabers, but I think I'm going to buy an aftermarket lightsaber because they just look so much better than the ones that Hot Toys does. Unfortunately, this is just very dull. I mean, even if I didn't have that light up effect, if I didn't have the light up effect on, you can kind of see it in the camera right now. But if I didn't have that light up effect on, you would not be able to tell that that saber's red. It would just look kind of like pink or dull in the camera. Another thing as far as looks go, I really like this base. So I think this is a cool base. It's just different as far as the look and the texture and everything of it as opposed to the rest of them. So it will look good and different, sitting on a shelf. The hands, different hands look great. The sabers looked great. The little coin is something that is cool that they gave us, though I do wish they would have given us a stand to set the coin on so that we could display it. So now I have to kind of go buy my own little stand or find a coin stand to display the coin with it. But okay, cool that you're giving us that as a little bit of extra something with the figure. So I like that. Last thing here, let's kind of pick him up and see how well he can articulate. We did kind of mess with the arms. So you saw me try to bend the arms and try to do his iconic pose that you see here in this image. We got pretty close, right? So we got pretty close. We were able to bend his arms and get him up pretty close. But I don't know that he's going to be able to go far enough across so that the saber is held straight up. So I don't think he's going to be able to bend, and pull those arms across and make that look right. I mean, how we had it, I thought looked pretty good. It had a little bit of basically tilt in the saber, but it is going to be difficult. But he has good motion and everything in the arms. They do bend back and forth. They're, as far as they move in the elbow joint and the shoulder joint. They do have the articulatable wrist. As far as his waist and everything, though, that seems like, you're not going to be able to bend him at the waist too much because this armor is a very hard molded plastic. So his body is not going to kind of move a whole lot. You can move his hips and everything, and you can move his legs a little. Now I say a little because he does have like the clothing back here is gapped. So I mean you can pull it, but it'll start to look weird if you get like too kind of pulled out. And then let's see what kind of articulation he has. So he has full 90-degree for the leg there. And then the foot, as we've already kind of talked about, is split boot. And then it has the fully articulatable, and you can get quite a bit of motion there actually in the foot, both front and down. So that's pretty good. As far as the legs kind of moving forward, not a lot of movement there, but I don't, like I said, I think it's mainly due to how he is kind of limited in the amount of motion you can do with this kind of robing down here at the bottom. So there's the articulation. So it's good. I mean, not great articulation. I wish those arms would have crossed all the way across so that you could basically do that very iconic pose with the sabers straight up, holding them like this. But close enough, right? I mean, that's difficult to do on any figure, so I didn't know that we would be able to do that anyway. The cape and everything, like I said, looks good. The tattering effect back here on the back, really, really good. So that's interesting. One thing I saw somebody talk about, which I thought was interesting and was a good point, they talked about these fanned or motion blades for the sabers. And they said, when you plug them into the saber, they kind of look like somebody's just doing that with the saber. They said, how would they like for them to change it? And they said, I would like for them to angle it so that the saber and the hard edge of the saber and the actual hilt line up, and then it's a straight line like that. I don't know if you guys can kind of see that. So it's more angled so that it's as straight with the hilt, but then there's a motion piece coming off. So really all they have to do is like angle that peg, and it would look so much better because then it would be able to look like it is actually being swung. Because when you have it like this, it just looks like somebody's swinging it back and forth, right? So I thought that was a really good point by somebody that I watched talk about the sabers and how they shouldn't be kind of like floating back and forth like that. But hey, I am really, really happy with the figure. I think he looks great. So let's go ahead and dive into our overall rating on the figure, what we think about him, and everything like that. So, one more piece before we get to that. So price. So let's talk price real quick and value of the figure. So this figure MSRP was $270. So really not bad. I mean, you don't get a ton of accessories, but I don't think that you really needed them with him. I just wanted this figure in my collection, and for $270, he was $311 with shipping, so you do have to add shipping onto that for the total cost of him. But to get this figure in your collection for $270 is really, really great. They do give you some. And as far as the quality of him, as far as all of the different aspects of his clothing, the painting, the weathering, the cloth, the different materials that they used for 270, great. And to get this figure into your collection, no brainer in my opinion. So really good cost ratio there to what you're getting for the figure in my opinion. So he did come out a little bit earlier than some of the other figures I think I've gotten recently. So like I said, I think pricing has gone up a little bit and maybe too much for the Hot Toys figures, but that's a different video for a different day. But really great. Let's talk final verdicts on the figure and our final ratings. So final verdicts. I think he's a great figure. I think if you're a Star Wars fan, you have to have this figure in your collection. I think he's a no-brainer as far as the looks, the feel of the figure. He's going to look great on a shelf. I really hope that they do companion pieces with him in the future. So I hope they do a Malik, a Bastila. Even if they did some of the droids and stuff that hung out with him would be really cool. anybody from that series really would just be awesome if they would continue to do this line. So I hope that they do more so that I can have a whole shelf of Knights of the Old Republic figures. But really great as far as a figure, the price to value ratio, the quality of the figure, really top notch. And like I said, I never thought that they would actually do a Revan, especially with all of the uncertainty around the Old Republic. So to get this in your collection, I hope that you can still find it somewhere if you're trying to get it, and you can get this into your collection because wow, it's a really really great figure. Overall rating, like I said, we're going to do kind of like a scale where we do good, great, spectacular. And so I thought about that the other night too, and we can do like S tier, A tier, and B tier, or something like that. But we'll as far as a figure, great figure. I can't put it at like the spectacular rating because I think it would need some more accessories if we were going to do that. Just add a few more things in for the figure if we were going to do that, but and make it a spectacular figure. But it is a great figure without a doubt, one that I am truly glad to have in the collection. So thumbs up, two thumbs up for this one. It is an A tier. Definitely figure. Like I said, I can't put it in that S tier just because I think it needs a little bit more as far as accessories, and they could have probably done a little bit better with the hood and some of the little aspects of the figure, the lightsabers. So those things take it down just a little bit from a spectacular figure, but it was almost there. So really, really close. But glad to have this one in the collection, like I said, and looking forward to hopefully them making some additional pieces to go with it. So let's wrap it up. Thanks everybody for joining us on the live stream. So if you were here today for the live stream, I really appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out while we do this unboxing. Really enjoy doing these unboxings. It's something that I enjoy doing. We don't typically get a lot of traffic through the channel for Twitch on the live streams, but they do really well on YouTube, surprisingly. So I'm hoping that this one's going to do well. I tried to put a little bit more effort into the camera angles and some of the things that we were doing with the actual unboxing. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the experience. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We really appreciate you stopping by for this unboxing today. Can't thank you enough. And come check us out on Twitch. We really like to see you over there too. We do gaming on that side of the channel as well. So come check us out, twitch.tv/skidmarks. Until then, see you next time.